This show's simple. I need your prediction. All right, I need your prediction on how this game is going to go. I need to know how you're feeling because there's one more sleep. You put your head down on your pillow tonight, you wake up, and our lives change forever tomorrow night. The Eagles are going to kick ass. The Eagles are going to win Super Bowl 59, and I'll tell you how I see it. Saquon Barkley is going to have a historic day at the office. Saquon is going to run for over 170 yards. And because he is going to be such a monster, it's going to open up lanes for Jalen on the ground as well. It's not going to have to be one of those let's throw it around a little bit. Now, look, there might be some throws that happen. There may be a big fourth down conversion to A.J. Brown. I'm not ruling that stuff out. But because Saquon is going to tear up that field and go for 170 plus, there's going to be such a focus that, you know what? You forget about Jalen. And when you do, Jalen's going to maybe toss in 65, 70 yards of his own on the ground. I think they dominate with their legs between RB1 and Jalen. And don't even be surprised if there's flirted in Kenny Gainwell at some point. But I see the Eagles taking advantage of their strengths, and they utilize their beautiful run blocking ability. And from there, it all sets the tone on the ground. And the defense turns Kansas City over twice. My prediction is a 28-24 win for your Philadelphia Eagles. A 4-point win. So maybe there's some sweated out moments. Maybe there's some drives you don't necessarily love to see. Hey, that's the nature of the beast when you got two teams going toe-to-toe with this type of high-caliber talent. So be it. At the end of the four quarters, you are going to witness the better football team have the Lombardi Trophy on the field. And that, of course, will be the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how I see it. I want to know from you. Score prediction, how you're feeling, how you see this puppy playing out, because all I do is visualize a second Super Bowl championship for the Eagles. How do you feel? 215-592-9494. That's the phone number to participate. Now, I do also want to have some audio here for you, and you can take a listen to some of the national media throughout the week talking about who has more pressure when it comes to these two teams. Is it Pat Mahomes going for a three-peat, which could be history forever? And you know how difficult it is to even be in that position to begin with. So to maximize this chance, is all the pressure on Kansas City? Or, hey, the Eagles were here 2 years ago. Are you going to fall again to this team and then now be looked at as potential losers who can't win the big game? Interesting. Let's start things off here with Stephen A. Smith on who's got more pressure to win this football game.
Where I worked for 17 years. You lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And by the way, because it's Patrick Mahomes, regardless of who the hell is in the AFC, all of us sit here and say, we don't think he's taking some 10-year break before he's back.
Right.
Philadelphia, we don't know what's going to happen with them.
Yeah, we do.
Don't know. No, we don't know. I'm saying they lose this game. They lose this game. This is a second bite at the apple inside of 3 years. You lose another Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at what happened. San Francisco lost a couple of Super Bowls to Kansas City. Where they at right now?
No, he just said they're built to last.
Philly's
they have
built to
longevity.
last.
I'm not trying to tell you that they're not going to be a formidable team, but we're talking about opportunities missed. Patrick Mahomes has already got 3 Super Bowl championships. You're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles and you're saying, listen, you got one with Nick Foles years ago, but you lost to this team a couple of years ago. You lose to them again? Again?
That's pressure.
Yo, I'm sorry. That's pressure.
I'm shocked that you guys don't see it this way.
Kansas City
don't see it this way.
All right, so that's Stephen A. Smith saying, yo, the Eagles got to get this done now, and they have a chance. They can't squander it. And I totally acknowledge that, and I understand that. And truth be told, I think there's truth to it. I think there is more pressure on the Eagles. And guess what? I love that. I think that plays a role in the mentality of this group, knowing the pain that they once felt a few years ago. All of that. Listen, I don't think pressure is a bad thing. I think there's truth to that. That's why they're so locked in. That's why they're so focused. That's why they are wired the way that they are. You can't lose this game. You cannot fall in this game. It's hard to get back as quickly as they did. And the fact that they did, this game is huge for the legacy of this era of Eagles football. And I actually think that it benefits this squad to have that type of pressure because, look, there's no wiggle room. There's no house money. This is something that needs to be done with a crazy amount of focus, a crazy amount of attention to detail. You can't let any tiny little issue or any tiny little mistake cause this to go crashing down. So if anything, the pressure actually equals an attention to detail that, rises the sense of urgency a little bit. So if that's the case, I'm cool with it. So that's Stephen A. Smith. Now I want you to take a listen to Mad Dog. Here's Chris Russo on who's got more pressure.
Nobody's going to kill the Chiefs. The three-peat thing is a little overrated anyway. Green Bay did it. We've gone through that 1,000 times in 65, 66, and 67. Two of them were in the Super Bowl. The Eagles, if they lose this game after they lost to the Chiefs 2 years ago and they brought Barkley in, that's 2 and 3 years with that fan base. There'd be some hell to pay. I understand. And the Eagles, everybody thinks, you talk to football people, and I'm here, I'm doing it. You talk to football people, they all think the Eagles have the better roster, top to bottom, better defensive line, better offensive line, better weapons on the wide receiver scenario, certainly the better running back. They got Fangio. There's a lot of people who think the Eagles are better, and they're only leaning to Kansas City because of the quarterback and the head coach and the defensive coordinator. I think this is a big game for the Eagles. If they lose this game, there's going to be a lot of people in Philadelphia who thought this was not a successful season. Nobody in Kansas City is going to think that. You're going to lose occasional Super Bowls. So did Brady. Nobody's going to think that in Kansas City. They will think that in Philly. Much more pressure on the Eagles, in my eyes.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Two national media members who are looking at it with the set of eyes that the Eagles have more pressure to get it done. And look, I really don't disagree. I think there is a lot of pressure after you lose, get back, and now you're looking right at the demon again in the face. But I accept the challenge. I'm cool with it. Actually, there's a part of me that likes it because I truly believe the identity of this team as they enter Super Bowl 59 is all because of the amount of pressure that's on them compared to the Chiefs who have been there, done that. I love it. I'm ready for it. And I want to hear from you how you think this game is going to play out. If you feel they have more pressure, the whole thing, it's Super Bowl Eve. We got 4 hours together. 215-592-9494. How are you feeling as we gear up for such a big showdown? Let's go to the phones. Let's kick things off with Will in Center City. What's happening, Will?
What's up, Brodes? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm fired up today.
I'm fired up. You know what? I want to run all night tomorrow. We've got a 2,000-yard rusher. We've got the heaviest offensive line in Super Bowl history. I want to run and run some more. I want Saquon to have 200-plus yards. I feel like he's having his 10,000 hours flow state, Yo-Yo Ma on his cello type of moment. I want him to ascend, levitate over the field tomorrow, and just go up into nirvana and just hit the history books forever.
I can't rule out 200 plus. I was being very, I don't want to say lackadaisical with 170, but I can't rule out a 200 plus day because I've seen him run determined. But I haven't seen him run determined in a Super Bowl yet. And him running determined against the Rams in the snow was special. It was special when they played Green Bay. It was special every regular season game for the most part. Knowing how he attacks the game, could you imagine the Super Bowl version of Saquon Barkley? Dude, he had 300-plus yards himself in a regular season game through the air and on the ground. I can't rule out 200 yards in a playoff game with the Super Bowl on the line, which I'll lose my mind in excitement if that's the case.
I cannot wait, and I'm going to vent here a little bit because on this beautiful, incredible channel, I heard a Philadelphia reporter, sports beat guy yesterday, saying that we should throw the ball more than we run the ball tomorrow. And I just could not believe that take. Seth Joyner also just couldn't believe his ears. We've been running it so successfully all season long. I just don't know how somebody in the 11th hour thinks it's a bright idea to switch it up. I'm going to leave it at that. But one more take. Brodes, I'd like to know what you think about this take. Okay?
Yeah.
So in 52, I think the Eagles benefited from a conversation that happened between the league and the refs before Super Bowl 52. And they said, listen, we cannot have another catch catastrophe. Des Bryant, we can't have that. There was a Pittsburgh tight end. We can't have that. No more catch catastrophes. And then Corey Clement caught that thing in the end zone, bobbled it. Collinsworth was saying there's no way that's a catch. 10 years ago, that just wouldn't have been a catch, right? And what I want to do tomorrow is I want to benefit from another conversation. And I think that nationally, people are getting sick of the Chiefs, and there is a big conversation about the referees. And there's just been some weird stuff happening. We've all seen it. Everybody talks about it. I want to benefit from a conversation tomorrow that happens between the NFL and the referees. I want to say it happened already. It happened earlier this week where they just say, hey, look, this has to be a fair game. The last Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl, that holding call on Bradbury, I think the national consensus is done with this, and I think the NFL has had to address it this week. They had to speak about it, and I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, hey, Will, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate you kicking off the show for us. And I think that there's probably some talks behind the scenes, without a doubt. Now, it's probably not going the way that we would, kind of visualize it going. I'm sure it's sort of a different tone, a different direction. They're having different talks than we would necessarily like them to have. But I'm sure there is some version of communication about the national attention, of how certain flags are thrown, and if there is a world where Pat Mahomes slides and he does it super late to try and bait a flag. You can't just throw the yellow laundry out there if it's a Bush League type of slide. So I'm sure there's something there. And truth be told, this is now the second time the Corey Clement touchdown has been brought up about it being maybe not a catch. And I don't think I'm just watching this through the Eagles' lenses here. I truly thought that was a catch. I mean, I really do believe that should have been called the way that it was called, and it was a touchdown, but maybe I'm just being super biased. Yes, to answer your question, when it comes to the league and refereeing, I got to imagine behind the scenes there was some sort of dialogue. Now, I do want to touch on the whole passing/running concept and which direction the Eagles should go, because that fired me up more than anything you mentioned. You can't just go out there and throw the football. That's not what this team has been. Now, if there are favorable matchups and there are one-on-one coverages and A.J. Brown has a matchup that he laughs at nonstop at the line of scrimmage because Spags and the Chiefs D are looking to stack the box and trying to stop Saquon Barkley, then I'm all in for it. If there are schematic reasons to have Jalen take shots and to throw the football and all that, for sure, I don't want to abandon the run. I don't want to get away from Saquon. I think you can still succeed heavily with him, even if there is a stacked box. So you want to stick to what has gotten you there and stick to your brand. At the same time, though, if there are passes that are opening up because of the way Spags is trying to handle this with his defense, then I want Jalen to do that too. You're not just going to throw the ball more than running the ball, though. That is a little silly. That's way too ridiculous. And I'm sure Seth Joyner was laughing at that too. They always say Brodes and Seth Joyner, football men. It's what they say. Let's go to Elliot in Austin, Texas. What's up, Elliot?
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I love it, baby. I love
Super Bowl,
it.
bro.
I know.
Let's go, baby.
I know. The Super Bowl. You're going to go to sleep tonight, wake up, and it's a Super Bowl day. It's nuts.
You think I'm going to sleep tonight? I haven't slept since Friday morning. What are we talking about right now?
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
Hey, I'm so freaking pumped for this game. I'll give you a prediction, and then I have a dilemma I need to run by you.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be a chess match in the first half. We're gonna be feeling each other out. You know, Sirianni and Kellen Moore versus Spags, Andy versus Vic. Probably be pretty tight. If we can get up 6 to 10 points, continue to control the game flow, I'm looking at the Eagles' defense. I'm looking at Coop, Quinion, Reed, Slay, locking down Xavier Worthy, locking down Travis Kelce. We have to just smother them and put them out of commission in the second half.
Okay, yeah, listen, and the second half thing's important because we know what Saquon is capable of doing in the second half. So if we play complementary football the way this team has done all year, to your point, if you're milking the clock offensively, you're keeping Pat Mahomes off the field, whenever the Chiefs offense does happen to be on the field in the second half, you got a super ready to go defense that's going to make plays out there. So I think our complementary football can do wonders in that second half.
Exactly, and everybody's saying, well, you don't want to have Mahomes on the field, you know, with a game-winning drive possible. I get that, but our defense is so much better, in my opinion, than where it was 2 years ago with that secondary and that younger O-line and Zach Bond that, honestly, I feel extremely confident about them being able to stifle the offense and make Mahomes not have anywhere to go with the ball. The running game's eliminated because we're up by 8, 10 points, whatever it is. I'm perfectly happy watching our defense ice them the same way we did to the Pats in 52, you know?
Yep. All it takes is one play. It's the BG strip sack. So I don't care what happens. If we got a chance for Nolan Smith or Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean, whoever it is, to make that play on a final drive, I got confidence in us as well.
Exactly. Okay, so here's my dilemma, all right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my oldest friends who lives here invited me to his house for a Super Bowl party. Love this guy. He wants me there because I'm the diehard Eagles fan in the group, right? But the problem is I've been going to the most electric Eagles bar in Austin all season. I've got my Eagles friends that I go and have watched every game, every playoff game. I told them, I was like, look, I've been friends with these guys for 20 years. I got to go to my buddy's Super Bowl party. I find out today he's invited a group of Chiefs fans to come be at the house.
Nah.
And I about flipped my lid. I called him. I'm like, dude, I might not be able to come now.
Yep. No. I'll tell you. You don't even have to ask the question. Ready? You don't go. You don't go.
Yeah.
You don't go. That's a bad move by your boy. I think he's setting you up. We got to question the friendship.
Before he drops us on me.
Nah, he's up to something, dude. He's up to something. I'm telling you, that's a crazy move to do to you. If you guys are as close as you say you are, why would he do such a thing, Elliot?
I think it's his wife's friend.
Ooh,
now
the wife's involved. This is a very sticky situation, Elliot. I appreciate the call. Ooh, so the friend's wife has friends that are Kansas City fans. My honest take, and Justin, I would like to get your thoughts as well. Justin Durazio producing the program. Here's my honest take. Thank you very much for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it. You know I love you. But that environment, it's not going to work for me. You go to the bar with the boys that you've been going to all year. That's my move.
Yeah, you don't want a toxic environment for this. You don't want, because if the Chiefs score, you're going to look at those Chiefs fans and you're going to get pissed off.
You may even punch them.
No, I'm for real.
Right in the nose.
Completely. That whoever invited that Kansas City fan,
guilty.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's a rough move, man. That's a rough move. That questions friendship. This goes deep. That's a deep thing that just occurred here.
And how about there being a crazy Eagles bar in the middle of Austin, Texas?
I love that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Go there.
Yeah, go there. Go there.
And you've been going there all year. You have to go there because you don't want to mess up
the mojo,
the juju.
Yeah.
No, go there.
That would be such a better environment. No disrespect to your buddy's place, but
and if you've been doing it all season, don't change it for the Super Bowl.
All right, Elliot.
To sit with some Chiefs fans.
Listen, you got the answer. I don't know if it was the answer you wanted, but you got the answer. Let's go to Bam in Upper Darby. What's up, Bam?
What's up, bro? Long time no talk, bro.
I know. I was thinking about you the other day. I said, I haven't heard from Bam in a while.
I know. Guess where I'm going to watch the Super Bowl at, bro?
Where are you going to go to watch the Super Bowl? I don't know.
I start off tomorrow in Orlando. Then I get on and go to Nassau. Then I go to Montego Bay. Then I go to the Cayman Islands.
Whoa! Oh, wait, are you hitting a cruise?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That boat is going to be popping with Eagles fans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I actually, a long time ago, one of my buddies, him and his girlfriend split up right maybe a month before their cruise. So he hit me up and said, yo, Brodes, I got a free ticket. I said, hell yeah. And it was during the Cavs, Golden State Warriors, NBA Finals in the prime. And the whole boat, every single night for these NBA Final games, the place was electric. So I can only imagine what a group of Eagles fans would be like on a ship during a Super Bowl experience. You're going to have yourself a hell of a time, Bam.
Of course. I mean, I just want to see, BG might not get the strip tag this year. You know who's going to get it for me, bro?
Nolan Smith?
Nope.
Who's getting it?
What's up, Big Pimpin'?
What's up, Big Pimpin'? You got Jalix Hunt on the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl making the big play?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. Now, that would be iconic. And you know that phone call with Howie Roseman would be going viral after he makes a play like that. Wow. Yep. Jalix Hunt, of all people. I love it.
Yep. And I'm going, you bold, bros. I'm very bold and optimistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going 44-13.
Oh, that's a blowout. 44-13. How many rushing yards for Saquon in that hypothetical?
205.
Bam. We got 44 points. We got 200-plus yards for Saquon Barkley. And we got Jalix Hunt making an important play in the game to kind of flip the momentum.
Yes, and to put the icing on it, I know he said this might be his last year in Philly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big play Slay. 2 picks.
Wow. Bam, if this happens, and have a blast on your trip. I'm very jealous you get to go on a cruise. Cruises are amazing. If that happens, Bam, I don't even know what I'd do. There's going to be so much excitement flowing through the body. I don't even know what I'd do. I don't even know if I would even be able to process it. I'd probably just be staring at the wall going, there's no way this is real. 2 picks from Slay, 40-plus points from the offense, Saquon running for 200. See, the thing is, I can't rule this stuff out because I do feel if the Eagles maximize their greatness and maximize their best abilities, they just put up 55 in an NFC Championship game. And I am not telling you that the Chiefs are the Commanders because they're not. But if the Eagles play their best football, they could put up 40. They could beat Spags. 2 years ago, they were doing numbers against Spags, and they didn't have Saquon Barkley as the threat that he is. One of the most dominant running backs ever. They didn't have that. Now they have that. So why can't they put up 40-plus? They can. Wow. All right, listen. One hell of an opening segment. I mean, we're just getting started. 215-592-9494. 3.5 hours left. Jump on board. How you feeling? What are your predictions? Let me know how you see this game playing out. I see 28-24 Eagles win with Saquon Barkley having 170-plus yards on the ground. That's how I see it. What say you? 215-592-9494. And coming up next, the X Factor. And it's not who you think it is. I'll tell you who it is. It's Brodes, it's you, it's 94 WIP.